I feel like most women go wedding dress shopping with their friends or siblings or their moms or dads. I went wedding dress shopping with my husband to be. Welcome to I Know How This Story Ends podcast. I'm your host, Tiwa Adetoye, a creative entrepreneur of fashion and art, an author, speaker, and most recently, a widow and single mom. Our wedding was coming up. I had engaged the service of a fashion designer in Nigeria 3 months before, and 2 months before, she had nothing to show me. If you've ever lived in Nigeria, you probably have experienced premium disappointment from a tailor or fashion designer. I've also disappointed people before while I was in that industry. But this was my wedding dress. I wasn't going to let that happen. I cancelled. I collected my deposit back and I was disappointed. And I figured, okay, I'm just going to get off the rack since I wasn't going to get what I wanted with my bespoke design and wedding dress. Obviously, I was upset. I was destabilized with the drastic change in plans. My husband was my go to for everything. When I was happy, I wanted to share with him. When I was upset, I wanted to share with him. When I was angry, even when it was not at fault, he got the brunt of it. And so this time wasn't any different. I know people say the groom is not supposed to see the bride before the day on the wedding dress, yada, yada, yada. Well, this groom went wedding dress shopping with his bride. We got to the store. I went through the racks, finally picked a few I wanted to try on. He was at the waiting area, and when I came out, he looked up. He was on his phone. He looked up and saw me. He put his phone away and he just stared at me. I asked him, "Do you like it?" I mean, I could tell his answer from his eyes. He always looked at me in a way that made my heart skip a bit, and that time was no different. He nodded slowly, he was speechless, and it made me feel very loved. He stood up, he came to me and said I was stunning. I told him thank you. I mean, I felt very beautiful in my dress without makeup or anything. But that he actually liked it as much as I did made me even feel more beautiful. Now, here's the thing. On our wedding day, after my dad walked me up the aisle and handed me over to him, he said, "You're a vision. You're the most beautiful woman in the world." Well, he whispered it to me. The pastor was there, but they didn't hear. And I looked at him like, "We went shopping for the dress together." I'm like, "Yeah, but I found you myself, and I found a good thing, and I'm extremely favored by God." Then it was my turn to be speechless. Losing my husband many times makes me feel like I'm floating, like I don't belong in any particular group or community. And grief has a way of making distinct memory flood back, like going wedding dress shopping with your husband to be. I have friends. I have childhood friends who we are still friends till now, but we're just all over the world. Life takes everybody in different directions and paths. So having to go to church or go grocery shopping or attend a function by myself makes the realization of being by myself more glaring and more obvious. One thing that has helped me, and I hope will help somebody listening to this today, is building my community in pockets. I mentioned earlier that Adesho was my go to for happy and down moments. Nobody can take on that role full on just like that. It's going to be a lot to ask to be my therapist, my best friend, the father of my kids, a husband, a counselor, a financial advisor, And so I have people that I reach out to when I need help with childcare, a different set of people when I see something funny on Instagram and I want them to laugh with me. I have my sisters I call when there's a need for hot gist and I need somebody to spill the tea with. I have big brothers in other states or countries when I just feel like pinching somebody or ranting. I have my church community when I just want to be vulnerable, or share prayer points with and just cry. In fact, my women's group, we call ourselves the crying group because it's really, really a no judgment zone and we just pray for each other and encourage each other. And I just thank God for all these pockets of people He's put around me in my life that have been able to be here for me. I wonder where you are in your grief journey. If you're just wondering, a good place to start to find community, if you're not maybe with family and friends in your immediate environment, the church was a good place for me, and I hope you give it a try as well. And believe me, the Lord uses the people around us, even strangers, to be our rock when we need the most. Remember the story in Luke 5:17, and I believe in Mark 2 as well. Four friends who had a friend of theirs that was paralyzed, and the room where Jesus was in was full, and they had to let him down through the roof to meet Jesus to receive his healing. Yeah, that was me. I feel like that's still me, with all this pocket of people carry me around to meet with Jesus. Every opportunity that they can, even if it means going through the roof. But the point is, I couldn't have done all of this without my friends and family and community. And so I'm hoping that somehow me and you both will find the courage to garner and tap into the community God has for us all around us that'll carry us and get us to the feet of Jesus to receive the healing that we need. This is not where this story ends. But thank you for tuning in today. My website, tiwadetoye.com/podcast, is a great place to stay connected with me. And please share this episode with anyone, and I mean anyone, who needs a reminder about God's love for us. Until next time, friends, Tiwa is rooting for you.